And we're live. Hello people, hello notification squad, and welcome back to, welcome to Fletch and Chill with me, NUSensei. This may be surprising. One, the timing is a bit weird, but we are here at 11 PM in Melbourne. And secondly, this is not a string and chill session because I have very important things to do. I have the state championship tomorrow, and I want to make sure that I have stuff ready for the comp because it's been a long time since the last time I comped. I did one club shoot ages ago when the club reopened, and now I have a state championship, so that escalated quickly. I wasn't planning on going, but one of our club members made a goal that he would compete in as many state events as possible. And of course, when one person wants to go, you bring the whole group. And this is awesome. This is what I wanted people to do years ago, is to experience their first competitions and to encourage more people to go. So while I'm personally not particularly ready for the competition, I fixed a few things, so I'm not really set for it. At least we're going. So that's what's happening tomorrow. So no string making unless I do it really late, but we're basically ready to go. I have done a few small things. I did wipe my camera before. I think someone mentioned in the last stream that it looked a little blurry and smudged, so I've cleaned the lens a bit. So I should be in slightly higher definition. Fair enough. So things should be clean. It is night time, so the lighting stuff, got the desk lamp in my face. But hopefully it should be okay. How are things? Is the volume okay? And is the chat size okay? As I know it's in the bottom corner. Did I point in the right direction there? I know it's in the bottom corner there. Sorry. Is it big enough to see? Alright, I know for those of you watching mobile screens, you want a larger one. If it's too small, let me know. I'll just stretch it bigger. So, how are you all today? I have a story to share. It's nice to start these things with a story, an archery one. And while I'm doing this will be a pretty open chill session. So, what I have, I'll share the story first. I'll answer questions as we go along. Now, of course, before the competition, we had a chance today to go out to our club and do a bit of practice. So we got our sight settings, we did some final practice, and what we did was to push the target out to 40, 50 and 60 meters. The competition tomorrow is a short distance championship. It is a 60, 50, 40 meter distance. Big face, 30 arrows each distance, 90 arrows total. We call it a camber round, but it's a FITA, was it a FITA 60/900 or WA 60/900? That's a format which is used worldwide. So that's what we're doing here. I like the round because it's a fairly forgiving round. Now, of course, that means more people will score higher, so the standard's still very high, but it doesn't punish you for trying to shoot something that big at 70 meters. So it's a pretty good round. So we were practicing this round, and unfortunately, it's quite a warm day. I mean, like yesterday was 42 degrees. Today was like 30 or something, or 25, 26. So it was a lot cooler, but it was still quite humid. And the sun was out, and we were baking in the sun. So we were shooting in the shade, and unfortunately, the shade was trees, and there were some low-lying branches, so they were hanging down, and it was mostly okay. Our compound shooter had no problem because he would just shoot in a straight line like a laser, right? That's what compounds do. But for us recurve shooters, and for me especially, I was right. There's a branch right between myself and the target. At 40 meters, it was okay. At 50 meters, I shot an arrow that glanced off the branch and then smashed itself into the target frame. Now, that wasn't me. Okay? I know I'm not a very good shot, but I'm not that bad. But what happened was, let's see if I have the arrow here. So again, I shot my arrow. It was a good height. It smashed into the tree branch. It glanced off it, and what happened was this extremely unfortunate hit. So this is an Eastern ACE. which if you include the cost of the shaft and everything else, this is around 50 Australian dollars put together, okay? And what happened was this. Get a nice close-up view there. You can see the high definition 720p, and hopefully you see the focus there, because even unfocused, that is nasty. So obviously I lost the point. In fact, the aluminium inside, because this isn't a carbon aluminium core, the aluminium inside was completely pulled out. So it's bent, it's split. The point remained glued in the insert area. So the glue worked fine, the hot melt worked fine. But god damn it! This is a $50 arrow right before the competition. Right? So that sucks. That is a very, very costly accident. Again, it wasn't my fault. You know, that tree branch just happened to be there, and we thought we could shoot under it, but at 50 meters, my arrow just arced right into it. It's just it just nicked a leaf or something, and that's enough to deflect the arrow into the target frame. So that is my story to share. So that is a write-off. I can salvage the knock. The knock's fine. I don't want to reuse the veins. So that put me in a slight dilemma, because I am running low on arrows, because you can't buy these separately. Like, you buy these in a dozen because they come matched in dozens. You can't buy singles. You can buy singles of cheaper ones like Apollos or aluminium arrows, but you can't buy singles of these shafts. So you start with a dozen and you finish with like 7, and that's kind of how it works. So that's a write-off. Can't use that anymore. Now, the dilemma I have right now is that I don't have enough arrows. Now, I have 7 arrows plus 1 bare shaft. 7 is a little skinny, because you need to make sure you have enough arrows to last the competition. Now, arrows don't break unless you miss, and who knows what might happen, right? You might miss the arrow, you might lose the point or something. So you need to make sure you have enough spare arrows, otherwise you can't finish the competition. 6 is enough, but there's no spares. I have 1 spare. Now, at a 60-meter competition, I'm pretty confident I'm not going to miss at 60 meters. For some people just watching, and this is kind of new to you, it might seem really far away, but a 60-meter target for a competent archer is not a problem. It's pretty generous. But I want to be sure that I'm prepared. I want to have at least 2 spare arrows, and I was dilemma because I have a bare shaft, which I can fletch. I have an arrow which is uncut, and I can't use it. I don't have a saw set up right now. But I did find 1 shaft which was already cut, which didn't have a point. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is to fletch, glue in my last point. So I ordered a bunch of 100 grain Eastern points. So that's the point there, and I'm going to glue it in. So that's my first order of business. Then what I'm going to do is to fletch my arrows. These already have fletchings, but some of these are worn out, and it's nice to start a new competition with brand new fletchings, because it's a nice thing to do. Brand new knocks, brand new fletchings. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of knocks left over, so just be fletchings today. So hence why we are going to have a fletch and chill session tonight. So no string making. This will be a fletch and chill. That's what it says in the description, right? Yes, it is. It is fletching and chill. So let's start by gluing this. Now I don't have pliers here, but I can just hold it in place. This shouldn't be too hard here. So I'll figure where to hold this. Now I do have my block of hot melt. Now I prefer the blue one because it melts a bit easier, but same difference really. It's all the same hot melt. Now I want to start with a bit of a parody or satire of there's a trend going on right now with the Tide Pods. For those who have been following social media, there's a trend with Tide Pods where people are having the Tide Pod challenge. Those are the laundry detergent tablets, which are colored like purple and orange and white. They're daring people to eat Tide Pods or put in your mouth, which is absolutely stupid. That will make you sick, if not kill you. Please do not eat Tide Pods. But this block of hot melt looks like a jelly lolly. Right, it looks like a snake or some kind of gelatin, right? So should we have an archer with like hashtag like, you know, eat hot melt? This is a pineapple flavored lolly or candy for those in the US. Okay, so hashtag eat this. Please don't. Please do not. So let's start by doing this. What is the question happening now? So I've had a question from Brian. 3 or 4 fin fletching. For most people, it's 3. 4 is used by Brady Ellison, and that's basically it. Now, the trade-off is that the point of having fletchings is to stabilize your arrow. It imparts a spin. Obviously, hey, Leak is down here. Remember Leak from last stream? Our Leak string. I fell down. So what I dropped, the hot melt. Alright, strike it. So I'm gonna just try and hold this and just kind of do it this way. Yeah, the point of it is have a little taste. No, I'm not gonna put this in my mouth. That would be a bad influence to everybody. I want to find a way to hold this because I need everything through. Aha! Perfect. My jig does not do this. There's probably a much easier way. Oh, I know. There we go. Yeah. Use this for a string jig. I've got the arrow sticking out. You can't see it from there. Doesn't matter. But what I want to do is, oh, there you can see the tip there. There it is. Yeah. What was I? So 4 veins. The point of fletching is to stabilize the arrow. The larger the fletchings, or the more you have, the sooner it stabilizes, and that is desirable. You know, it doesn't take as long to stabilize. That said, too much, too high a profile or too many veins causes a problem. It increases drag, and over distance, drag is very, very important because too much drag and the arrow slows down and drops sooner. That makes sense, right? That's basically physics working for you. So most people will use 3. I should not touch a steel point with my bare fingers. If you think putting a block of hot melt in your mouth is stupid, don't touch a stainless steel tip with your bare fingers. I really should have pliers with this. And like I said, I do prefer the blue melt. You've got a cool melt if you want to. The reason why is that it kind of melts a lot easier. That said, this would not come apart anywhere near as easily, but it does mean you need to apply quite a bit of heat to it. There we go. Get it nice and on there, and it just came off. Crap. This is not how you put arrow shafts on, guys. Points on shafts. You need a pair of pliers for this. Okay, we got it. Alright. Wow, that cooled down really quickly. Sorry, guys. So we'll reapply some heat. I normally use like a candle for this, but I'm going to use a lighter just to make this fast. See what I'm doing there, probably. Let's apply some heat. Hope it doesn't drip on me. Yeah, the yellow boning melt takes a bit more to heat up. Whereas the blue ones, like, you know, 3 seconds it starts to melt. Having said that, oh wow, that's still solid. Huh, okay. Let's keep on applying heat. So how are you, chat? What happens is someone will ask me a question. I'll be so distracted how the whole thing will melt. Okay, that should be enough heat. Oh, there we go. Right in there. If I had pliers, I'd put a bit of a twist. But I don't. No, I probably do. Like, why would I not have pliers, right? Because pliers should always be part of your archery kit, which I have right next to me. So, you know, I've already glued it, it's already sealed. No biggie. So what I'll do is put a bit of a twist. If you want to make your tips actually stay in the shaft rather than being pulled up by the target, what you should do is get them like smooth sandpaper, rough up the point a bit, and then apply the glue. That way there's more surface area, the contact between the shaft and the point, so the glue has more to hold on to. Another thing you might want to do is to apply a twist. So once it's inserted, turn it a bit there, and hopefully it should spread out more of the glue. Some of this might be hocus pocus, but it doesn't work. So that's our tip in there. We'll let it cool for a bit. No, it's cool now. This one cools really quickly. And normally you'll wait like 10 minutes before you use it. But we're not using it tonight, so we just let it slide. But it does take some time for the hot melt to settle. If you shoot too soon, in fact that's like a millimeter out, can I still push it in? Yes, I have. Yeah, so you can still use it, but the glue isn't yet fully cooled. So if you shoot it, it goes into our target. But remember, when the arrow goes into the target, it does generate a lot of heat because of the friction of the target, especially if you're shooting at straw. So there is friction. It does affect the adhesives used in the point. So do note that if you're doing this, you shouldn't shoot straight away. Give it time to cool down. So that is our first part of our fletching mission done. So that's our thing done. Now the other thing I want to do during this stream is to fletch. So this is Kitten's question right here. By the way, I'm wearing the XS Wing shirt which I bought. Very nice shirt. You can go, wee, my name's in the back. I'm not pro staff of course, but I did buy it. What grain tip I'm using? I'm using 100 grain tip for this one. Thanks Kitson. No, ACE pins don't fit ACC. You need to use the X10 pin or the ACE pin for the respective arrows, same to ACCs. ACCs is usually bushing, that's correct. Alright, so I want to fletch my arrows. A couple of my veins are damaged, most of them are okay, but they've been there for quite a while, so I'm going to fletch these. Now, you can see my arrow scheme, my color scheme of my arrow. I've got a blue glittery pattern. I've got blue metallic XS wings. So these are the 40mm ones. I normally use 50mm, but they ran out, so I use 40mm. So what I want to do is replace these. Now I've got 50mm blue metallic, so I've got the same one, and it will make a decent color. I don't actually like this color scheme. I only chose it because, well, nobody has it, so that's it. So, but when I ordered this shirt, I got a few freebies. I got like 1,000 free foam key rings. I got a banner from XS Wings, like a full-on banner. I got a couple of arrow counters, the ones you click when you count arrows. That was pretty cool. I'm not sure why they sent it to me. I'm not sure whether it came as part and parcel with the shirt, or whether they knew who I was. When you type in NUSensei, it's pretty obvious that, you know, I'm known, but I'm not sure why I got so much stuff. Maybe to make the shipping worth it, but the thing that I got, which really surprised me, and I've no idea where I just put it. I'm a little dumb here because I was just holding it. Here it is. So what I did get was a free pack of XS wings. This is pretty neat because these normally cost like 50 bucks, alright? I mean, this and this shirt actually cost a very similar price in Australia. So these are bronze metallics. I think this is a new color, and I got this free with my order, and I was quite surprised. Like I thought, hang on, why would I order bronze? Right? I don't remember ordering the arrow counters. I don't remember ordering SS wings. These are great, but why would I have bronze? I have no bronze color. And I figured, well, it must be a complimentary gift. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was sent to me as a standard thing for those who buy the jersey and be part of Team XS Wings, or whether it was because I'm me and they want to treat me specially. So I got bronze, and I guess it means I'm third place. I don't know, but I've got bronze, so I'm going to make use of this. I don't want to give it away or sell it. I could, but because it was sent straight to me, I'm going to use these. That means I'm putting bronze metallic veins onto an arrow shaft which has blue glitter and a green knock. This color scheme makes absolutely no sense, but we're doing it. So I'm going to take away the blue wings. I'm going to take some time to strip those off. Then I'll replace everything with the bronze ones. So that'll be the goal for tonight. That might take the rest of the hour. I don't want to stay up too late because I do have the competition to do tomorrow. And that's the goal. So while I'm doing this, let us chill. So let's start with a topic in YouTube. Ask questions, bring up stuff. James Badger, what is the status of the council debacle? That's solved. Check out my videos on the club versus council, the club crisis videos. That was solved months ago. So that was done and dusted. We have our new fence. The council has gone through its process to make sure that the club is running safely. We've arranged new formal hours of operation, and basically we have everything that we should have set up. So everything's resolved. The only nasty thing was that the process really exposed the fact that the council is kind of incompetent in what they're doing, as you would expect. Like they're very they're reactive. They're not proactive. It falls onto like sports clubs like us to raise issues. But we obviously did raise it, right? So I obviously raised the issue, but it took 4 years to act, and it only took a critical incident. And even then, pretty unhappy with the process. I mean, it was done formally. It was completed as it should, but the way it was done was not appropriate. And in fact, one of the things which I was actually personally unhappy about. This is for James's question, because this is I didn't mention this in the video. On a public holiday, so on a day off. No, it's on a Sunday. It's on a day off. I got a phone call from one of the council staff. It was a personal phone call. Now, business is business and personal is personal. So she called me on a personal phone while she was walking the dog, and she was the person who was working within the council, like arranging this to happen. And look, for me, I don't know who works in the council, right? For me, all I know is the council has these demands, we respond to the demands. Because it's bureaucracy. You have the top level, you have you have the executive. So the council has a CEO, there's an executive, and then you have the council staff, the ones who do the work. And then you have the people who are on the bottom end, the clubs and all that, who aren't part of the system. We just work with what's given to us. So what happened basically is that it was the very top telling the middle that they need these things, and like the guys in the middle, including this lady I was working with, they have no warning. And this is why the original assessment was so shit, and I'll say that bluntly, as you can see in the video. Like, it was a rush. It was done in less than a day because they had to get it done. They got barely any warning apparently, and we got none because we aren't part of the system. We're just the external factors. So they rushed everything. It was a screw up, and we were mildly pissed off. I was mildly pissed off because we had to deal with this stupid 20,000 word report to respond to all these false allegations that are so incompetent that if this went to court, we would win. So that was the thing, right? So I got a personal phone call because I was posting the update on Facebook, as you saw, and she was made aware that this was happening. Of course, like when you make public posts, you have to be accountable. They'll say, "Oh, why'd you do this? You know, we shouldn't do this." Of course, but you know, this wasn't personal. I didn't attack anybody. All the posts were done in a professional kind manner to inform the people, our club members, our community, and of course you guys, of what was happening. And she took it very personally, which she's allowed to do. She's allowed to take things personally. It didn't name anybody. It didn't attack the council. It was a pretty. If you go back to all the club updates and my posts on Facebook, you probably won't see anything which was personal. Right? It was all professional. This is basically what's happening. This is how we feel about it. But this is the progress being made. And we gave the council credit where it was due. You know, all the meetings they held, the discussions made to make it transparent. So I got this phone call, and she was like on the verge of tears. She's having an emotional breakdown on a day off. She's walking the dog. She's having this emotional breakdown, and she slammed me. Like, she's saying, "Why'd you post it? Why'd you post it? What's the point?" And I don't know what the point was. We spoke for an hour, but she was trying to like put me down. She was trying to berate me, telling me that, oh, they're working really hard on our side. It's their, you know, the fact that the team they're the ones who made it happen, and we should be thankful and we should be following the process. And I was like, well, yeah. At no point have we not followed the process. We have documented everything. We have provided all the things the council requested. We have no problem with the process. So what's the problem exactly, right? Are you trying to guilt trip me into like deleting posts, like trying to make me feel bad? So when we met with the council, we didn't exchange any words because the phone call happened. It was a seriously unprofessional phone call because it came off as a personal assault. You know, it's a waste of my time, it was a waste of her time. It's a shame because it was right before such an important meeting. She hadn't even read the document that I put together, the really heavy one that was in the video that we went through to respond to all the charges. But the fact that she just went bananas at me, and I don't want to like gender stereotype, but it was very female. It was just an emotional outcry. I don't know what she was trying to do. Again, business is business. The club's an organisation, so is the council, so we have process to follow. We were following them, and there she was, like crying her heart out, saying, "Oh, we're working really hard. You should be grateful. You shouldn't have said these things." So I said what things? Right? What did we say? What did we say which upset you so much? Because she has no right to contact me in her personal time, in my personal time, to make me feel really thankful that the council has done what they should have done 4 years ago. So we got the meeting done. It was basically done without any problems. Like they agreed about analysis. There was no problems there. But Jesus Christ, some people. So I always thought she was the one that we were fighting against, and she's saying she's on our side. I still don't believe it because you know, my gut feeling is that I think her job's on the line. I think the fact that we caught her out, not her personally, we caught the council in a bad place. This is my theory. So again, this is what James's question, like 10 minutes ago. What happened? Again, we finished the report, we published it, we made it public, because why the hell not? The public deserves to know. Because we weren't going to be categorized as a dangerous activity with a bullshit report that said that all these things, the arrows that can kill people, or it can do like $100,000 of damage. None of this was proven. None. And we were so furious that this went ahead, that we were ready. I reckon we were step away from going to court. Because if they denied us the ability to use the field, and it's their field, it's the council's ground, they're allowed to do so. But if they denied us on that basis, we would have gone to court, I reckon, and we would have won. Because they did not follow any process which proved that they weren't culpable. The accident that happened, it might have been our fault, but it was their responsibility, and they didn't follow through. And the assessment they did was obviously faulty. And for someone in the council staff to personally attack me on the phone for no reason, because she was upset, that's fair enough, but I don't know who she is personally. Actually, I met her like once or twice, we're not friends. So why is she calling me? So in my role as president, I'll work as president. I don't care about personal friend. I'm not going to invite her to a birthday party. So that was that's the status. I think we caught them out in a bad place, the pants down, and I think some of them felt personally threatened because perhaps their job's on the line. Because we had political pressure, we had politicians contact them about the situation. There was mounting pressure. We didn't get the media yet. We just contacted the politicians. So there was some pressure there. But for someone to go to that extent where they would, call me like that, that's that was obviously some. We probably had them on the back foot. So that's why the fact that we as a club stood and we won. And of course, the council would claim it as a victory. The council said, "Oh yeah, we successfully negotiated, blah 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 blah." Yeah, they'll claim the credit for it. But we stood our ground. We didn't bend. Yeah, I agree, James. Like, look, people don't do this unless they feel threatened. So even though there was no names named, I didn't even know who was in charge of this, right? So there's a structure involved. But the fact that she would do that, and it was such an emotional phone call, it was everything. It was aggression, it was guilt, it was compassion, it was everything. She put all the emotional tricks. And perhaps this wasn't intentional. Like, some people intentionally, make a video or make a phone call where they'll just blackmail you emotionally. I don't think it was intentional, but it was probably inadvertent that she just pulled all the typical tricks that a woman would do. And I'm not gender stereotyping here. Men don't do this. Men just I mean, screw you over. But this was an emotional phone call, and there's no reason to do so. So I told the club, of course, it was off the record, but I told the club because this was something that was off the record, and that was a very, very intense and personal phone call. And that is my answer to you, James. I'm glad I'm not president anymore. I think that was the peak of my presidency. Once I was done, we rolled the AGM out. We put in a new committee with a new president and a new vice president. So I'm not in charge anymore. I think that after 4 years and one nearly legal battle with the council, I left on top. That's enough to, you know, for a lifetime. What's about using Loctite on a bow? Who's Loctiting? Sorry, I've ignored every question up from James. That was a pretty big question. I'm just removing the fletchings, by the way. That's why I'm not doing anything. Watch. It's easy to remove when you have wraps. Wraps just kind of everything comes off. If you're doing it on a bare shaft, it's a bit harder. Ugh, man, I'm tired. I was kind of nervous about training today because training the day before normally makes you very tired and fatigued. So at least I sleep well. I didn't sleep well last night. It was still hot, but tonight should be easy rest. Tomorrow's a bit warmer. The temperature should be around 29 degrees, but that's bearable. See, someone has plunger bottoms, huh? Plunger problems, rather. Okay. Now, I now have a lot of bare shafts. So, let us now apply our completely... No, we'll put the tape on first. I'm not going to apply the thing straight away. I like to do things in blocks. So, while it might look nicer, do one at a time. I'm going to do all at once, just to save time. I like this new package. I'm not sure this is standard for everybody. By the way, I didn't order straight from Sitar or Benjamin. Or Dejan. There's Benjamin, there's Dejan. I know he has a pretty active Facebook page. I didn't order right off him. I ordered from the website, and I got this stuff. So I guess he just gave me a lot of things. If that makes sense. This is a nice one. I mean, I have the old booklets. This is a pretty nice improvement. So these were the old instructions. They're basically printed on paper, and the same instructions. But this one is a nice glossy print with instructions. And I mean, again, the other had diagrams as well. You've got this little card here, which is really nice. You can see the positions and the distances. Dare and share. So shoot your best goals and share your progress on Facebook. Okay? That's an interesting little challenge there. I like the change. Interesting. This is actually a very good detail. So what you see here, it shows you basically everything I know already, but the fact it's here, it's quite fascinating because what you see here, sorry about the reflection. So firstly, it shows you straight and offset veins, which is something which people do already. But if you never use spin wings before, it actually shows you how to apply the veins. I use offset, by the way. I don't use straight. I used to, but now I use offset, so it's slightly angled. It also tells you how much tape to have on the ends over here. That's for the anchor tape especially. I mean, again, we already do this, but in fact, the tape which comes with it already had it's all the right length. It's done for you. I hope should be. And then it shows you the common vein alignments. There's no one correct way, but it does help show you the best clearance for your plunger, because these veins can tear really easily if we don't correctly align them. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm shooting mine the wrong alignment. Because I shoot mine very similar to a standard vein with one odd fletching pointing outwards. That's actually the correct one. I think the old diagram it was, but I think this is done in response to like a lot of reports about how like it just get torn up. So I might try this tomorrow, which is kind of stupid because I'm trying new things tomorrow in the competition. But this makes sense. Like I naturally do this anyway. So that's cool. That's a very, and by the way, there are measurements here, both metric and imperial. This is a very nice card. I mean, this card's for the best part of the whole kit. That's impressive. Well done, Excess Wings. I'm not saying that because I'm wearing your shirt, but you know, it's actually a really nice accessory. Well done. Where was I? Kevin plus 3 adventures. How many hours do we have to shoot? 90 plus warm-ups. It's a 90 hour round. Alright. Oh, wow, okay. Hang on a moment here. This is normally, the veins come with strips this long, whereas these one come with very long strips. That's why they did that, because this is more than 50 millimeters. It'll work fine, but that's kind of excessive. So use one for each. That's basically how it looks like. I mean, there's some flexibility in having extra length, but you don't need that much. So what I'll do, I'll just tear. I mean, what we'll do, we'll have like 3 millimeters on top there, and we'll probably tear the bottom off at the very end, like we normally do. So let's start our fletching process. Oh man, I'm so tired. And we burned a lot of energy yesterday, or this morning training. I'll sleep well, but damn, hopefully I don't cramp up tomorrow. Oof, does your wrist hurt because of archery? It shouldn't. If you're way too tense, then yes you would, but it normally shouldn't. The wrist should be relaxed. Hi, Knocking Point. Good to see you again. Should you try one of these spinny wings and skinny arrow? In my humble opinion, if you're shooting trad barebow, don't bother with these. They're more trouble than they're worth. You need to shoot off the rest of these. You can't shoot off the shelf, and they don't really provide a benefit for trad barebow, in my opinion. They're great for target because it's basically like the precision vein for precision shooters. I don't think you would actually achieve much by using this on a trad barebow, but they're very good with narrow shafts. If you have a thicker shaft, it doesn't work as well. You want narrow. What am I doing? I need the veins to be... Look, it doesn't matter where the offset goes actually, so I'm just going to do it this way. As long as it's offset in one direction, it's fine. That's a long piece of tape. But that will be completely fine. I'm not replacing gear, I'm replacing fletchings. Morton, this is a new gear. So I have to anyway, the fletchings are worn out, so I need new fletchings for the day. Although that's it is a different size. So that is a very unnecessary risk. I also bought a new finger tab. I bought the Fivik 1, I think. The one without the palm guard. Tried it this morning, it works fine. It's actually a good tab. I think I found the right tab. I've adjusted what I need. But again, it's a bit of a risk going to gear. Like, you shouldn't try these things on the day of the competition, because that's really silly. But you know what? It's for fun. I don't have high expectations. Hi, Northey from UK. So yeah, let's do one of these to see how it looks. We don't have a choice to change it, but let's do one arrow complete to see how ugly the bronze looks on blue glitter. I just spilled my entire thing. That's right. We'll pick him up. Gee, I should have seen that one coming. It's funny how like Satar sent me like right hand veins. Like obviously most of us are right handed. But imagine like if I was left handed, all these right hand veins. They're cool to give away, I guess. Well, I doubt he knows I'm right handed, that's probably like a guess. But this is a machine tomorrow. 60 meters, 50 meters and 40 meters. It's WA 6900, which is a Canberra around Australia. I need light, can't see what I'm doing. Yeah. This does not look like a nice color combination at all. At least I know these arrows are mine. True. The green shots might be the bigger conflict. Ew. It's a nice vein too, by the way. The extra swings are really nice. But god damn, that's not exactly the ew. Bear Cruiser Light for shooting cheap 5 glass. I'll see why not. Bear Cruisers are nice, you know, cheap compound bows. Shoot fiberglass arrows. Why would you do that? You can, but that's crap. The compound, you shouldn't be shooting cheap fiberglass. Of all things. Because of a compound bow, you gotta watch out for the arrow's integrity, right? Like even with a light draw weight, the velocity impact of the bow is significant. I'd be careful with fiberglass on a compound bow, even the right spine. I know that they sell with bow kits, so it's safe, quote unquote, but just be careful with that. If you're gonna buy a Bear Cruiser Light, buy some decent arrows, because they're not expensive. Cheap carbon is almost as cheap as fiberglass. Snake cut corners like that. Oops. Okay. That turned out nicely. Okay, make sure it's stuck on properly. Get the anchor tape. What's my anchor tape? Got plenty of spares. One up. There it is. That's the. There's a brand new anchor tape. Hey, that's not bad. So this is the old anchor tape. It's glossy. The new one's a matte kind of finish, so it's less glossy. I think the old one it works just fine, but this isn't a bad idea. I normally cut this in half. I'm not sure what people do with excess wings, but I cut these in half because these are very long. You can wrap. Oh, I know. The fact that it's less glossy means that it's not as thick. And it's not as long either. Hang on, let me check. Oh, same length. So I'll cut it in half. Because yeah, if you wrap this several times around your shaft, it gets very thick. So having the matte finish means that it gets kind of bulky, which ruins the appearance. I'll still use half. I'll see how it goes with half. If not, we use one full one. It comes with just enough, so yeah, no, that's fine. I'll use half. What spine arrow would I recommend for a 20-pound, 21-inch draw? People around 6900 is a very skinny shaft. Depends on what arrows you're buying, right? But yeah, like you need like 1,000. Yeah, you need to find like a spine in the thousands, 900 to 1,000. It's very hard to find those shafts. Ultimately, 20-pound, you don't really need to find matching shafts. Just find a shaft, really. How much for a personal best for 7 meter one round? Actually, I can't remember the last time I shot 70 meters. I can't tell you that. It's not impressive. I don't train 70 meters. I just had too many interruptions. I'm not confident shooting at 70 meters, so I can't say. I don't really know. No, we haven't had a proper club recorder for like years, and an under club recorder. I don't even know. Yeah, I would recommend spine charts, Tony, but you might have trouble reading them. If you can teach yourself to read, it's fantastic. One of my future videos is showing people how to read arrow charts, because that's basically what I do. Like, you'd ask me what should I shoot with this bow. I can't tell you off the top of my head. I have to consult the arrow charts, and the same with shops. They consult arrow charts. The only exception are people in the club who might know from experience what works more better for you, whereas most people check arrow charts. Okay. These are really nice veins, but what the hell's my color scheme? Oh, that's hilarious. I'm slightly off there, doesn't matter. That's acceptable. So that is that's the shaft. You can see the bronze there. That is a terrible color coordination. At least I know it's mine. I'll say that, hey, these are free veins, and they're bronze for third place people, I guess. But that is not the prettiest color. These are nice glossy metallic veins. But yeah, bronze on blue with a green knock is a horrible color scheme. Oh well, represent. Horrible color schemes for horrible people. How will you name the color scheme? Yeah, how about that, guys? We need to name things, right? By the way, I want to make a new stream for myself this year, so I need your help on that. But what should we name this abomination of a color scheme? No one will take my arrows. I need to replace my my name stickers as well. I should have a spare set of stickers in here. I'll do it later. Pretty sure I do. There's like hot melt. I hope I do. I need to find them later. But I've got a bunch of stickers with my name on them. And I normally put everything in my one case here. In fact, I'm gonna be right back. Are those regular ones or high profile? These are regular ones, or low profile ones. So I got one arrow done. Sorry guys, I will be right back. Give me a name for the color scheme. I'd play an ad, but this video has been demonetized before I even launched it. See, the bot's broken. I'll be back. No luck. So audience, we've gone from like 60 views, like 5, haven't we? Alright, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, no, what I was looking for was a pack of stickers, which I ordered like a couple of years ago. I've got my name on it, and it's transparent stickers with my name in gold. I've got a few examples here. Let me try and find one. Sorry. You've probably seen this on stream a few times. Yeah, these are all worn out. Yeah, these are all worn out. Because you're supposed to have your name written on the shaft or your initials. So this is the only one that still has a name on it. So I need to find a silver pen or something. So that's what I'm looking for. I have these gold stickers. Alright. So yeah, I was trying to find my pack of stickers. No idea where they are. They should be in that box. They're not. I know where I've placed them, but I've cleaned up several times and I might have moved them at some point. I have no memory of when I did so. When I'm drinking apple juice, it's very humid here still. It's cooler, but it's very humid. So I sweat a lot. Yeah, sorry for the delay. How about corrosion? A lot of people are saying that for the strings, right? Yeah, I need a pen to mark my name on it. The stickers are fine, but all my stickers have the name worn off. So that's where the name was, but it's obviously worn off from time wear and tear. So I've got no names in my arrows, which is actually illegal. You need to have names. I mean, I can still get away. I can still say this is my arrow with my name on it, and the rest are the same color fetching, so I'll pass. But yeah, to do it proper, you need to have a pen with your name. I'll find one. I've got one somewhere. Somewhere. Who knows where it is? I might know where now. Is it? I have another search later. I'm not gonna do it now. Let's finish the arrows, and I'll search it a bit later. Then I'll go to sleep. Because it is getting late. Molten gold. Say hello to those who just joined me. I'm just fletching my arrows for tomorrow's competition. And I'm losing things. So I'm going to order a new batch of stickers, I guess. I bought these from Arrow Socks, the British website. The reason was I need to order a bunch of the club as well. Because last time the club like basically used regular like name tag stickers. And we glued them on, but they came off really easily. It wasn't very intuitive process. I want to order stickers for the club. So the club has an easy way to just name the arrows. But that's part of my agreement with the council is that the club arrows will be marked. So that anyone who lives in the area who finds an arrow, if it's not our arrow, it won't have a name on it. It's a bit silly, honestly, but you know, council is council. What am I doing if when I'm not doing archery? I work most of the time. I'm a teacher, so that's most of my time taken up as it is. Not much spare time as a teacher, tell you that. Otherwise, I game, I read, I do artwork, I write short stories and poetry, and I play piano when I feel like it. But these days, it's mostly just YouTube, actually. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. Like, if I have something more important in my life, YouTube's gonna be the first to go. So that's why I make so much content now, just gaming, but like in archery. Like, I anticipate at some point in the future, I think that something more important might happen. Might be family, might be relationship, and you know, YouTube I do because at the moment I've got nothing better to do. But instead of like moping about it and saying, "Oh, why am I so lonely?" It's more like, well, let's do something meaningful. Let's do something useful in our time. Will I play piano one day, maybe. I'm not very good. So one day I might stream something. I know like 2 songs, so it's not gonna be a very good stream either. It'll be a very short one. Crap. But yeah, like a lot of my motivation behind YouTube is simply that, look, I'm not doing anything in my time right now that's particularly meaningful, so let's do something worth it for everybody else. And a lot of people benefit from it, that's great. Does teaching pay? Was it the question before? Does teaching pay well? Yeah. I'll say it pays well, but it's not for a living. Well, I'm not going to rant about Lars today. There's nothing to mention. Like the only person I probably rant about at the moment is Shadowversity, not Lars. Lars has been pretty quiet lately. But Shadowversity is the one online. He's hasn't responded yet, but I'm not sure if he's seen the video. If you haven't, check it out. Shadowversity, modern versus historical. A video which I think, I'm ranting now, just warning. A video which I think is worse than Lars Anderson. Seven turns pink, 7 turns blue, 4 turns green. That's like a 25 strand string or something? What? How? Surely, make sense please. I shoot 16 strand from my bow. Maybe 18, I feel like it. Is it golden circle? Yes it is. Golden circle fridges, yep. Yeah, Bubblyberg. Yeah, I was baffled with the whole like he didn't actually say bullets on arc, but he said that bow sights aren't like rifle sights. And he said that arrows arc, and he implied that bullets don't, which is I don't understand the point about that. It's baffling. It's like the more I think about it, the worse like the worse it is. It's a truly terrible video. And this is me, like, after, like, you know, 10,000 Lars Anderson videos. I think Shad's the worst one. It's weird. And he's a nice guy. Like, he's a good entertainer to watch. But I was just baffled by everything in the video. And I was thinking of doing a live stream or just watch it again and react to it. But I don't want to spend too much time just harping on, like, Shadowversity. It's a video in the end. But yeah, just everything that was said in it was just so woefully researched and misleading, and I don't know how I got to this conclusion, but that's Shadowversity for you. I can't do like one strand each. I was playing rather rainbow stream, so I've got so many colors. The problem is making a pattern out of them. Because if you only have like one strand each, then you're gonna have a jumbo of strands. Like there'd be no pattern. Of course, in Australia, bullets aren't affected by gravity. In Australia, the reason why I don't have guns in Australia, if you shoot the gun, it falls off the bottom of the earth. And Shadowversity, being Australian, knows this. Hence why he's actually right. No, Tony. The archery stores near you, they're right in the city. There's one in Somerton, one in Oakley, and one in Cheltenham. They're quite far from the city. That's actually the problem. But they're hard to get to. That is true. I don't know. To catch a train, catch an Uber or something. It's worth going in person. I know you live in Melbourne, Tony. You've been talking to me. the main options are Urban Archery in Somerton, Oz Hunting Bow in Oakley, and Planet Archery in Cheltenham. The kind of outdoor you can't really get in public transport. Maybe Cheltenham was near Maribor DFO. Yeah, James. Yeah, Aussie archers aim low because yeah, it goes back. Yeah, it just drops off the face of the earth. Thanks. Was that James? No, Alan. Thank you, Alan. But I'm not gonna win tomorrow. I'm not in match condition. And there are much better shooters out there. I don't think our Olympian is there. Alec Potts. I don't think he's shooting at the comp. And the NEAMS are indoors happening right now too, right? So a lot of our best shooters are actually in France now. So we're missing quite a few of top shooters. So there's a chance for others, but I don't think I'll be up there. If tomorrow Alec Potts, who was the bronze medalist, if he's not there, I didn't check the registration. I reckon if it's not Alec Potts and not Ben Howe, and I think Ben Howe is at the World Indoors, as well as several other guys. James Gaze, he's at the indoors as well. That means I reckon Jason Butterworth. If you're watching this, I reckon you'll win. No pressure. I know, I should be more positive right now. I know where I stand, right? Like, you don't shoot exceptionally good in a competition. You shoot what you normally do. And I don't normally shoot anymore, so I'm not going to exceed my expectations. I'm going to shoot exactly what I do, and I won't be disappointed at all. A training montage, yeah. It's pretty boring. What do you shoot? I do all these like practice videos, but I don't know how to make a good practice video, honestly. Like, in the end, it's just me practicing. People are like thousands watch me practice, but I'm not sure what you want in a practice video. I haven't used heat shrink fletchings yet. What do I follow in the Winter Olympics? I don't follow Winter Olympics. I don't really watch them. I have no opinion on them. I mean, any sporting events are really cool. Like just the like being an athlete and being part of it, it's amazing. But I personally don't follow the Olympic Games. I need rocky music, yeah. Enjoy your shoot, knocking point. I told one of my club mates that we're going with that it's his first competition, so we're telling him about what to expect, about all the rules and stuff. And I told him, well, just be warned that I'm a celebrity, so expect lots of fangirls like, swarming around me to make sure there's like 3 meter space between you and me. I mean, I do have fans saying hi, which is great. I go to other clubs like Moorabbin and Waverley, and I get people saying hi, which is really cool. But yeah, no fangirls. That'd be weird. I mean, I need to win things before I attract positive attention, right? At the moment, just me being a YouTuber, which is great. It's nice seeing people who are new to sport say hi, you know, that they watch my videos. It used to be like 1 or 2 people, and now it's like everybody knows who I am. Because like a lot of clubs recommend me, which is good too. That's nice to see that clubs, you know, see my content is good. But just people, like a lot of people who, before they start archery, they watch me first, and because of that, I do believe that I have what I might call a new effect. So while I don't replace clubs or coaching, I get people to go to clubs. Because anyone who goes to a club for come and try or beginner session, they'll probably Google it first or YouTube it first, see how it's done, and they see me. They see me, they keep the 1 or 2 tips in mind, they do it, they enjoy themselves, they look really good on the day, people praise them, they feel really good about it, they stay with the sport. So there's a lot to do. I'm not saying that hey, I'm the cause for archery being more popular, but you know, when you have like, you know, millions of views and hundreds of archery videos for free, that has to count for something, doesn't it? In my opinion. So I didn't have these things when I started. Thanks for the comment, Elena. I'm assuming you're not a bot, but if you are, thanks anyway. Was that a question? Was that a breathing question? I missed the question there. Zion, have I trained with an Olympic archer? I haven't trained with one. I've shot against one. I have attended training courses with at least one South African Olympian, and I've competed against an Australian Olympian. But I haven't trained with one. I finished with this tape, by the way, so I'm now putting the veins on. Normally you breathe out when you shoot, so when you come to full draw you breathe out. The reason why you do that is that you want to level your shoulders. The couple of reasons. One is when you hold your breath, your heart rate increases, and that kind of makes it a bit hard to aim very finely. Second reason is that when you breathe in, your diaphragm lifts, and so does your chest, and so do your shoulders. So by breathing out, you level your shoulders. I'm assuming that was the question. Kevin +3 again. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to make archery videos? I recommend, by the way, you watch my video called why YouTube archery channels fail. That's one of my most personal and probably the best videos I've done. Advice is that video. So that I recommend you watch it first. There are 5 things which I think people do with archery channels which really screw up. But that's one thing. But no, that's a good question. What advice would I give to someone doing archery videos? Have a clear goal in mind of what you want to do exactly. Okay. So remember, there are 3 general kinds of videos. There's entertainment videos, there's educational videos, and there's motivational videos. Right? So you're going to think about which one of these, or which ones you're going to specialize in your channel. Right? You can make archery entertainment. Like think about Lars Anderson right now. He's making archery entertainment. So he does, like, that's what I told him to do, because he tried to do too much in one video. He tried to do history, he tried to do trick shooting, and it just made a mess. People hated it. So what I told him to do was to focus on one thing. Show us trick shooting. People love his trick shooting. This is a damn fine trick shooter. And he did. And now he's making, like, people love his video because there's no like history crap in it. And later on he can make his own history video, which would be really interesting to watch. Just focus on one thing at a time. So you can make entertainment videos. Dude Perfect, same thing. There's a couple of skits. You can make education, which is what I do. And you can make motivation, which no one really does motivation. I think the closest one to motivation, it's not a channel, but it's a Facebook page. That'll be Archerology. Linker runs that. I might try at some stage with some motivational stuff. Zion's got a point there. Yeah, Shadowversity labels himself, like builds himself as infotainment. So it's, I guess, entertainment, but informative. But yeah, it tends to be kind of neither. It's kind of a bit of both, but not really great education, and not really great at entertainment either. He's entertaining, but not like, you know, something you watch for entertainment. Yeah, Link is really nice. I do want to do, yeah, I want to do a mini-series on archery motivation, because one of my secret talents is poetry, and I want to combine that with archery in some way. Not sure how I'll do that yet. But advice for channels, where was I? Yeah, Fred Bear, do I know in person? No, of course not, I don't know in person, but everyone knows Fred Bear. No, that's a silly question. Of course. I should have Fred Bear bow. Ooh, that's a terrible fletching. Oops. Wasn't paying attention there. That's fine. Actually, no, that's not fine. That is absolutely horrible placement. I'll try and bend it over a bit. Yeah, that'll work. Not my best one there. Let's see. Sorry, the question before, I was sidetracked. That's getting dehydrated. Yeah, advice for archery channels. For any channel, have a clear vision. Name the arrow's dead battery. Oh, the dead battery. That's not a bad idea. De-energized. What was that? Yeah. Yeah. In general, when you think about channel, think about what basically any YouTube channel is, right? So I mentioned for the different kinds of channels, but also think about what kind of channel you want to be. Now, one thing you might think about is what is out there right now, and what can you do that is different. What can you do that can be attractive, right? If you're doing this just to make information, just make information. People will look for it. You don't have to compete with people. Just make your stuff, because people will watch for the information, but they'll watch you for you, right? They'll watch my content because it's me. It's coming from me. It doesn't mean you can't make how to string a bow, or you know, the shot process or whatever. Give an example like 3D Archery. Greg Richards. He's already done a series on the shot process. It doesn't mean I can't do it. So what I do would be different. So my general advice for archery channels would be, sorry about my gas. When you watch a video, and like if you're starting now, you have a slight luxury because the people who are doing archery videos are already established. You've got a lot of the old school people who are kind of fading off. People like Jeff Kavanagh, Great Archer's gone now. Grizzly Jim's just restarting, but he's making like one video a year. He's watching, isn't he? And then there's people like me who's making like one video a day or something. That's different. But like, you watch these people, and you think to yourself, what can I do differently, or what can I do better? That's the kind of the first thing. Like, if you can't do it differently or you can't do it better, then don't do it. Not to shatter your dreams, but why make a tutorial that is no better than Howcast? Because that was the standard when we started, right? It was like, can you make a better tutorial than freaking Howcast? And if you can't, don't make a tutorial. Don't be the Living Genesis kid. And like, no offense to Shad, don't be like Shad. This is a classic example of someone who I might have been like when I made my kind of like how to look like a pro in your first day. I was probably at a level of knowledge slightly above Shadiversity's, but I tried to know what I was talking about first. But that's the mistake you will make, is that you may inevitably, you may inadvertently make a video like Shadiversity, where it has good intent and entertainment value, but it may be horribly misinformed. And especially now when people are more like knowledgeable, thanks to me mostly, then you're gonna cop it from me mostly. So make sure you know your stuff first. That's actually really important. Like, know your stuff. Like, don't make an archery video until you know what you're talking about. Like, don't be too keen. And I know when people learn new things, when people learn new things, they want to share it right away. But sometimes you're not in the right position to share it yet. You need to spend time to become comfortable and I guess develop your mastery of the subject. Okay, give you an example. Would you want me to cover a series on speaking German? Can I speak German? Ja. Guten Tag. But that's basically it, right? So it will be funny coming from me. Yeah, I'm sure people will like have fun, like listen to me, like learn and teach German. But I'm definitely not a master at German, and there are many people who are better at German than me. Ich speak nicht ein Deutsch. That's horrible, I know. That's the point. It's gonna be fun to watch, but people make completely fun of me. I can do Japanese. That's a bit different. But the point is, you need to know something about the topic before you do it. As exciting as it is, calm the hell down. think about how to do it the best way you can. So that's one of my tips for an archery video is think about what you want to do with it. And one of my personal rules is I don't teach things I don't know. You might think, you know, I've been doing archery videos for like 7 years now, nearly 5, 6, 7 years. I haven't done a video on thumb draw. Why? Because I can't do a thumb draw until like 3 weeks ago. And now I can talk about thumb draw in a response to the Shadowversity because he didn't talk about it. But I would not make a thumb draw video like how to thumb draw when there are people like Armin from Malta Archery who actually do it better than I can. Absolutely right, Bobby, but I agree. A bad and misleading teacher is worse than no teacher. You're absolutely right, and I agree with that 100%. Nihongo? 多少は日本語を話せます。でも、上手じゃないと思います。毎日練習しません。だから下手です。Yeah, no, like Bob was saying, like you got to be careful about teaching things that you're not familiar with. Now, as a teacher, I have to teach things which I'm not familiar with. That's the nature of things. You teach new texts and novels. You teach new histories. Well, I try to record. I don't want to. It's too much effort to shoot. Like if I was competing, I'd record. But if I'm competing, I don't want to juggle the camera and myself shooting. Now, if I had a support crew of a camera person, I'd do it. But I don't. I don't want to stress about filming. I just want to enjoy the moment. And actually, my event videos are very low popularity anyway, so like it's not worth the trouble. I know some people want to really watch it, but there's nothing really special. It gets pretty dry after a while. I know what Sukka means, so it's not gonna really stress too much about that. Yeah, I don't go to concert when I compete. If I go, I'm competing. The last time I went by competing, I was boring as heck. Because I was watching people shoot. I'm like, I should be shooting. I can do this. What a chicken out. Yeah, so that was my advice on videos before. Like, be confident in what you teach. You will always learn from your mistakes. You know, things like editing and presentation. But like, if you're gonna make an archery channel, then have a plan. I mean, I didn't have a real plan when I started out, but now I have more of a plan. I've covered everything I want to cover, right? So you need to be creative what you cover. You need to think about a creative approach to how you cover it. And again, think about what you can do differently or better than what other people can. Now, you mentioned, Kevin, that you're a level 2 instructor. You are actually harder than me. I'm a level 1 instructor. You're a coach. I'm not sure if the levels are parallel, but I am a level 1 instructor. You're level 2. You have more coaching background than I do. You know more about things like sports science and you know, physical, biomechanical structures. I know from doing and from teaching, but I don't have the formal training. I have the guidebook from FIDA, but I'm not formally trained. And there are lots of level 2, level 3, even level 4 coaches who potentially could make good content. But who's making the content? It becomes very factionalized, it becomes kind of like bureaucratic or clicky. And sometimes people let their ego get in the way. Not naming anyone in particular, it's not like I have a bizarre hatred for someone. But you know, when you're making a channel, like, are you making it for yourself? Or are you making it off for a different purpose? Because you can easily make your own, like, you know, following. But is that what you want to do? Is make a following? Or are you trying to do something more ambitious and more, more selfless? What are the coaching levels? Depends on what you're at. I mean, basically, right, this is the Australian standard, okay? So in Australia, our coaching levels are starting from level 0, which is community. Level 0 is where people run things like camps. It's not mandatory, but highly encouraged. And level 0 is basically what the level 1s do, except the level 0s assume that the people running the activity haven't done archery before, because they're often like camp counselors or camp organizers or volunteers who don't know anything about archery. So that's a level 0. Level 1 is for us to come and try program. So they're the ones who run the introduction program. So all the people, like Tony, who's going to do come and try next week, will be taught by people like me if I'm a level 1 instructor. So they basically teach you how to shoot a recurve bow safely. So how to string one, how to spot for damage, safety, rules, method, and basically how to teach you how to shoot. That's basically it. It also doesn't assume you do archery. You don't need to do archery in this course, but it helps a lot. But yeah, like level 1 is your basic come and try. Level 2 for us is the club coach level. So it's you do more modules on sports science and coaching methods. And then there's level 3, which is like a regional coach or high performance coach. Oh yeah, sorry, Kevin. Yeah, I'll check your channel later. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm gonna sleep soon. I have to fish my arrows, but I'll check your channel out. I'll write to you, give you feedback on that. But yeah, your first review is gonna suck always. You learn from your mistakes. But yeah, think about what people don't do very well in videos. I mean, for one thing, a lot of people aren't very good at editing videos. That's fair. It's not an inherent skill. I've never learned how to do screenplays. I've never learned how to like edit videos. Everything I've done is self-taught. So all the editing I do is things I can do. I've learned everything from scratch. How to film, how to get the right camera, yeah, and basically how to edit. And I don't do a lot of fancy editing. Like, I mean, I'm sure some of the animations or have better models or people, but you know, I work what I have. I don't have any volunteers to kind of pick on unless Tony wants to be a volunteer. So I just basically I use myself. I prepare my videos in a way that is sustainable for me. So they're not the highest production value. In fact, the production value is quite low. But it's something I can do without too much effort. And that is important. Are the requirements to go to high levels? There is no requirement for proficiency to become a coach. So it's different to NRA then. Right, you don't have to be a good shot to be a good coach, and that's what recognized in the archery coaching system. Not so much being a night owl, but I have to get this done. Like, this is tomorrow's competition, right? So I can't just like leave this to like tomorrow morning. Yes, Boulder Boot makes a good point there. You need to be able to speak to the camera. You'd be surprised, but a lot of people lack that confidence to speak in front of camera. In fact, a knocking point, who was just here before, he made a comment a while ago to me that when he makes videos, he just can't think of what to say. He just stumbles and bumbles, and he gets his point across. But a lot of people who make tutorials and, you know, archery videos, they can't talk straight. And again, Shadowverse is a good example of this in a bad way. You know, he tries his best, but it just comes out as confused and there's no structure. So again, part of my experience as a teacher is that I generally have an idea of the best way to communicate what I want to teach to someone who knows nothing. And it's actually 12:30 PM here in Australia. I mean, it'd be like 11 in Western Australia, but here it's 12:30. But yeah, Bollywood is right. Like, you need to learn to speak to the camera. Trips to the program, isn't he? And isn't he the one that isn't good at speaking to the camera? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Wait, doesn't Crip play Hearthstone? Is that who I'm thinking of? Thought so. Thank you. Yeah, I used to play Hearthstone, so I recognize the name. He's the competitive Hearthstone player. WoW and Hearthstone. Whew, hey, you know, random knowledge there. Yeah, like so many people have the knowledge, but so few people have the ability to speak in front of a camera. So that's one big bit of advice there. Is to get confident speaking in front of a camera. Now, when I started, I scripted everything. Alright, so I would only take the good take. I started by having prompters, doing paragraphs, and nowadays I do more freeforms. Like, if I want to do a topic tomorrow, like, why don't people overdraw? Then that's one of my future topics, I can talk about that. But I believe that whatever you deliver has to be smooth and confident. Whether you use jump cuts or whether you have one good take, that is your stylistic preference. I do both. A good one-off talk session can be quite engaging. At the same time, a lot of people ramble. It's very hard to stay on topic in one take. Even my experience is that the videos where I script and prepare and voiceover take about, let's say, 30% less time to get to the point. So there are videos where they're like 20 minutes long that could have been done in 10 minutes because I spent too long coming up with too many examples. Whereas when you do jump cuts and editing, you've got a better idea as to what is good timing. So scripting and preparation, I find it will give you a better result. Whereas when you just do it ad lib, it's more the character coming out rather than the content. So you're going to be careful about how easily sidetracked you are. And again, Shadowversity. That was, in my opinion, from what I think it is, unscripted. See, Lars was scripted heavily, right? And at least Lars was very easy to follow. Shadowversity was kind of everywhere. Again, I don't keep like ranting about him, but again, he's unfortunately at the moment one of the best examples of a bad archery presentation. I think a lot of people agree with that. Zion, have I had monetization? Yes. The bot is broken. This stream, before I ever went live, was already monetized. Alright? Shat Neela's now. Shat isn't big enough. He won't go viral. His own following isn't that big. It only has like about 200k subscribers, and the video has like 60,000 views. It's not a very hot topic for Shad. No, demonetization there. No, I get it fixed easily, and because I'm a low traffic channel for the most part, I don't lose much. But yeah, like it doesn't inspire much faith where everything you do is demonetized. The bot is broken. I don't think YouTube is doomed. I think they're doing damage control, but they're kind of doing the EA for the demonetization. So you have EA kind of screwing things up with like Battlefront 2, well, and everything, but this is like YouTube's EA moment. It's just like, what the hell are they doing? Like I have simple solutions, right? So what should happen is that, one, if something is automatically tagged by the bot as inappropriate, and but by the way, I understand why. I understand why this happens. Some people think, oh, it's Logan Paul, screwing things up and all that. No, the reason why it happened, it's meant to stop the really bad channels, the extremist ones, the child porn ones, and all that, because those are the ones where anyone can make an account, right, and make inappropriate content. That's what it's trying to stop. not the giant channels like the liberal you know, commentators, the gun channels and all that. They have a different issue, right? That wasn't that wasn't the reason why YouTube rolled out all this stuff. Because of course advertisers don't want their ads playing on terrorist recruitment videos. That is pretty obvious. So you're not gonna have you're not gonna have like major channels, like they're not the target. And no, Logan Paul isn't the target. The problem is that all the channels which are currently in are heavily affected by demonetization, because there's no differentiation between a channel with a good record and one which has just been created just to spam child porn. Right? So in my opinion, what should have been done is that we know the bot is learning. YouTube said so. YouTube wants you to protest every demonetization so that the human operators can update the algorithm so it becomes better. But here's the problem. Because it is a learning bot, it will demonetize everything. So why isn't it that each time a video is tagged for demonetization by a bot, that a human looks at it first? Why does it have to be that the channel operator has to make the complaint? And they review it, they'll look through it, right? All the things I've had done, I haven't had one not being reviewed and not being accepted. But because everything I do is going to be demonetized, and by the way, this means that I lose ad revenue, and so does every other creator, as long as it's demonetized. Why force people to go through a manual process, right? Why not just have the manual process in the first place? Because you're going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of creators protesting every single decision or video tagged by the bot, because the bot is basically wrong 90% of the time. And yes, it has to do with like money and employees and so on, but look, it's like, imagine teaching a 6-year-old how to recognize a bad video, but in doing so, you give the 6-year-old the ability to ban channels. Like, wouldn't you want to oversee it first to see what it does, and not wait till after it like bans half the internet? That's what YouTube should have done. It is a effort. It is such an inconceivable way they've done this, and there's no way to explain why they've done this. It is absolutely bollocks. Now, the other thing that they should do is to whitelist channels, because when you recognize a lot of channels, like even YouTube's own big channels, the one that they always recommend, they go on trending all the time, their videos get demonetized. I mean, a lot of people should be trusted, right? That's why you have like a 3-strike system. That's why you have a rating system. So if a channels have no black marks, they should not be demonetized. And channels should be whitelisted. So if after a review or several reviews where a human operator can see that this channel, which may be operated by a Christian mum playing video games, is not going to be an extremist channel, then whitelist the damn thing. So that's my quick solution, is whitelist. Because a channel which makes like hundreds of videos is going to have to manually review every single one, and there's no guarantee that anything in the future won't be demonetized. But whitelist people, like, come on, YouTube, trust your creators. The creators are the people that make YouTube, right? We need a sign from YouTube of good faith. Offset with standard vein. I haven't used standard veins for quite a while, so I actually don't know. Does it make a difference? Yeah. But again, this is debatable. Depends on your coach. One coach, our national coach, has said yes. An offset is better than no offset, as long as it's correctly done. Some people say otherwise. So, no opinion. And my fletching is done. I think this is my best fletching job yet. The only thing I regret is I can't find my stickers. I'm going to do another search in the back room a bit later. And then back in my other room. So I want my stickers. But I lost all my names. I can write them on next time, but I've got no names in these. That's against the rules. So I want to make sure that's clean. So there we go. We have a set of very attractive arrows. There we go. How's that? Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Very, very nice. So what do you think, guys? Is YouTube picking favourites? No, they're not picking favourites. YouTube has to take action. With the right action. Yeah, people got destroyed, yeah, and no surprise. He makes like tons of money anyway, he doesn't lose much. It is a light proportion. Good color, are you kidding, Alex? Good color mix. Actually looks alright. The veins are beautiful. That's the thing, like the veins are very nice. Yeah, no, I agree. That I agree with the partner changes again. Like anyone who has enough views can make a channel be monetized. So they're trying to move away from that. What the crappy thing right now? The crappy thing with the new changes to the small channels, which doesn't affect me. I guess I'm a medium channel now. Is that like it doesn't grandfather in older channels. So what happens is that the people who worked really hard to get them out right now are being cheated from their hard work. So they need to be grandfathered in. The ones who have been in the system up to this point should be given a free ticket to the monetization program once they make it. They should not be kicked out. So that's what I think should be the case. Alright, I reckon I'm going to, let's see what we can do. It's 12:40. I am going to go to sleep, actually. So, we'll take last calls. So, we'll take last calls. And then I'm going to hydrate, maybe find some name tags if possible, otherwise that will be it. The subtitles. At the moment, I don't have a large need for subtitles. I had like hundreds of videos when you need subtitles. A lot of stuff now, I already subtitled, or only like a handful which need to be done. So I don't plan to do another subtitle giveaway. I mean, people can still add subtitles. Like there's no stopping people for adding subtitles, but I'm not doing a giveaway. Yeah, these are nice. They'll probably be ripped up tomorrow because I reckon like my bow's not tuned. I haven't done a proper tune for my my bow. And my release is a little floppy. Dead battery. You know, I'll go with dead battery. I don't name my arrows or my color schemes, but dead battery is not bad. I think it's a perfect match, but we got that dead battery. Sorry, these were XS wings. These are the low profile ones, yes. I'll keep that in mind, sure. Yeah, 2 bit in here. Nice. Actually, I really like how it turned out. Yeah, and that's how ice works. Thank you, Kevin. See you next time. I'll watch your channel a bit later. Yeah, if it was all copper and black, that'd be perfect for Duracell. X10s actually. These are X10s. I lost one this morning, unfortunately. Alright, well, I think I'm prepped for tomorrow. It is now 12:45 AM. So, last calls. Actually, X10s or ACEs. Okay. X10s are not the best arrow. Spoiler alert. Right, X10s are not the best arrow. X10s are probably the best arrow for 70-meter shooting. The reason why is that it's very good in wind. It probably has the best wind profile for any arrow due to its weight and shape. ACEs are probably slightly better in calm conditions and short distances. So I've heard of some archers having both ACEs and X10s, and they choose which one to use based on the day's conditions. Alright, so if it's a really windy day, we'll go for X10s. If it's a calm day, they might go for ACEs. If they're shooting a field round in the woods where there are fewer issues with wind, because obviously it's more sheltered, then they might go for ACEs, and it's shorter distance normally. So X10s have a place, but that place is normally 70-meter competition. Less than that, you don't really need X10s. They don't make you a good archer. So if you are going for like cost effectiveness, ACs are better. If you're going for maximum performance at competition, X10s might be the way to go. Yeah, no, I think you're right actually. These are better than wind. If you can afford X10s, go for X10s. But just remember that it doesn't make you a better archer. I mean, I shoot X10s, I shoot like crap. People shooting Eastern Apollo shoot better than I do. Bare bow. So, they can help make good groupings better. They don't make bad groupings good. That's my rule for a lot of archery equipment in general. Arrows especially can be a big difference. But yeah, let's start with it. Now, if you already have arrows, but you want to upgrade, then think about, like, why go midway? Must go all the way. Yeah, most of the intermediate arrows basically the same. All the companies will have all this marketing to say, oh, we have this new technology that makes the arrows straighter and fly better, but there's no real difference. Arrows are arrows, except the very cheap ones and really expensive ones. Is there a prize pool? No. There are some competitions, like the match play series, which do have a prize pool, but the state and nationals are not. They don't have a prize. It's not a professional competition. The kid who ate your Lunchables. Your arrows are 31 inches, but my draw is 27. Should I cut? No. Depends. You only cut when you need to. Why do you need to cut? There are two reasons why you need to cut. The first reason is if you are using a clicker, because you need to match the length of the arrow to your clicker, otherwise you can't use a clicker. The second reason why you need to cut your arrow is when you're tuning. Cutting the arrow will make the shaft of the spine stiffer. So if you cut the arrow, it will be stiffer. So do you need to cut the arrow? No, an arrow is usable without being cut. Now the recommended length is about 1 inch to 2 inches longer than your draw length, but it doesn't mean you need to cut. You can still use arrows fine, unless you need it to for a particular reason, whether you need the length to suit your bow, whether you need to have the right front up center, or whether you're tuning and you need a clicker. Those are examples. So if you have a need, then you cut. If you don't, then don't cut. So that is the rationale behind that. Tiger H1 over the Yak Panther. Alright, I reckon we are done for the stream. I do want to sleep at some point. Any last questions? Tungsten points for the extends, those are expensive ones. I use stainless steel because I suck. Yeah. You might want to save the tungsten points for when you're like elite level. Even then, you know, they have good performances, but you know, until you're that good, it's just a waste of money. Alright, I reckon we'll pack it up. Thank you for your company. I will probably do a live stream. Likely, I'll come back in the afternoon tomorrow. I will probably be fall asleep because I'll be bloody exhausted. And then I'll probably do a reflection live stream. Well, I'll talk about how I went. So I'm not sure when that will be. It might be, I have no idea. Could be 8 PM Australian time or 9 PM 11. Don't want to go too late, but I'm not sure when that will happen. So thank you to everyone for your best wishes. We've got a pretty big crowd tonight. Well, how much shorting affects it? It's quite a bit. A lot of even like 1/4 of an inch will make a big difference in your spine. So don't be overzealous at cutting your arrows. Just do a bit at a time and tune from there, because you can't uncut an arrow. Is your bow creaking that bad? Not really. Are you too late, Felix? Yes, you are. We're done. You can see this is the finished product. We are done. Okay, alright, so I will head off, finally. So, thanks guys, I'll let you know how it went. I will probably not win because I'm not ready for this, but I'm going to have fun, hopefully. Meet people I haven't seen for a long time. You know, sign lots of autographs, meet fangirls and so on. And hopefully, I will see you all next time. I got stuff on my keyboard, I can't, what the hell? Yeah, wait, I won't see you all next time, I gotta clean up first. Oh, bad timing. I've got my entire, like, kit sprawled on my keyboard. I can't even turn my thing off. Oh no, you've got like, you know, like 60 seconds to kind of bother me. I literally can't alt-tab to OBS. Whoops. So this is what I do with a stream. Like I clean up before I finish the stream. So yeah, whoops. You can see the crap I'm putting away. You're stuck with me for like 2 minutes. I really need to clean up. And make sure I give a name tag, so if it's here, I'll be spewing. Because they're really good stickers too. If not, I'll order a bunch more. I did recommend Arrow Socks for stickers, it's still around. Nope, can't find them in this box. I'll do one more search in the back room and I'm going to sleep. Because it is humid, easy to dehydrate. Are we on? Are we off yet? And I think we are done. Alright, thank you everybody. I can now alt-tab. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are, or night. And now, I'll see you all next time.